Well, my name is Danny Givens, born and raised right here in St. Paul, Minnesota. Um, Man, what can I say about myself? Have made a tremendous change and transition throughout my life in this community. Growing up in the Rondo community has been really important and impactful for me. I had a lot of my first childhood experiences here. A lot of great things happening. Unfortunately, there were some things that took place because of some decisions of being this young, wild, kind of fire adolescent um, that led me into a life of crime. So it was right probably after, 8 months after graduating high school. It was a really rough year that year. I graduated in 1995 and just had a lot of significant loss and trauma. And it was this kind of stage and phase in my life where I was really looking for just some clarity and answers. My primary support system of friends had really dissipated quickly because of the lifestyle we were living. And it caused me to have like this preoccupation with some things that weren't really healthy. It was in April of 1996, 8 months after I graduated, that I ended up committing a crime with a couple of my friends that involved robbing a local VFW post. At that time, it was an off-duty police officer there that was a community member, unbeknownst to myself, by the name of Lieutenant Art Blakey. During the commission of the robbery, Art Blakey and I exchanged fire during that time, and quickly realized that this stuff got really serious. And I smile looking back at it in a sense because it's unreal and kind of unbelievable when I look at where I am now. Got outside of the VFW after this exchange and was like 3.5 blocks from my mom's house, and had this near-death experience. Found myself in a dead-end alley, laying down praying, saying, God, forgive me. Grew up in a Christian church, River of Life, a historical church in our community. So I had an understanding of what it meant to have a relationship with God and prayer. Spent some time at St. Agnes High School for a little bit, so I knew my rosary as well. But had this near-death experience that really led me to a place where I was forced to evaluate and reevaluate my life. At 18 years old, I was looking at 60 years in prison for the shooting of an off-duty police officer and the commission of the robbery. And God intervened and showed up. And it wasn't necessarily about what I had done. It was more so about it was grace and mercy, favor, prayers of the righteous. Was blessed to only get 18 years, do 12. And it was in prison that I rededicated my life to the Lord and began this pursuit and journey towards becoming who God had called me to be. And had known for quite some time as a kid that I would be a preacher when I got older. My grandmother had prophesied over my life, and an evangelist or two had as well. But I had kind of met this crossroad where things changed for me. I had an officer ask me, Givens, what are you doing in here? Why? And it wasn't that he didn't know I was in prison. I mean, that was public information. It was the captor asking the captive, what are you doing in my house? And I've always been kind of savvy and witty with my words, and I didn't have a response for him. And that was disconcerting for me. And that question prompted a series of questions, this internal dialogue with myself about, were you created for this? So I don't believe I was created to be in prison. I don't believe I was created to live a life of crime or any of those things that I had done. But nonetheless, it doesn't invalidate my opportunity to be able to live anew and start again. And so gave my life to the Lord in 2002, and things shifted, and here I am.